Josh Smith with GottaBeMobile.com. I'm going to show you how to set up your iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus. First thing you'll see when you turn it on is this screen going through a bunch of different versions of hello. All you need to do is swipe and choose your language. I'm going to choose English and my region. And then you can activate over cellular or Wi-Fi. I'm going to connect to Wi-Fi. I'm just going to enter the password real fast. Next, it may activate your phone. If you've already activated it once, you might not have this problem. Could take a little while. You may have to make a phone call to your carrier or activate online. Check the documentation that came with your iPhone if you got it delivered. If you got it in store, they handled this for you already. I'm going to go with Enable Location Services, and I'm going to choose Set Up as a New iPhone. The next thing I need to do is sign in with my Apple ID. So I'll tap that. I'm going to pull it off screen to type that in. You will need to agree to terms and conditions. You can read all of this. You can send it to yourself by email usually, but in order to progress, you're going to need to hit agree. And you'll have to tap agree one more time, and then it's going to take a few minutes to set up your Apple ID. And the time for this will vary depending on your connectivity. Next up, we're going to choose if we want to use iCloud or not. I'm going to say yes to iCloud. Find My iPhone is activated by default, so we'll hit next. And then it's going to ask me about iMessage and FaceTime, and I want you all to have my number and email addresses, so I'm just going to hit next on that. You can change the check marks if you would like to remove some of that. So it's going to update my iCloud settings, and now I can choose to set up Touch ID. So I'm going to do that by placing it on the home button, and you basically just lift your finger up off the home button and place it back on. You can do this a few times, and then it's going to ask you to adjust your grip. So I'm going to do it from this angle. I'm going to hit continue. Go ahead and enter this. And the reason you change your grip is so that as you're using your phone and you aren't always going to put your finger down on the home button exactly the same way. So now it's complete. I'm going to go ahead and hit continue, and we create a passcode. And then you re-enter your passcode. And you can choose, do you want to use Touch ID for iTunes and App Store? Which I do. Next thing is iCloud Keychain. This will keep credit cards, passwords, things like that in sync. I'm going to say approve from another device. It's going to send that, and it's going to pop up a message on one of my other devices. I'm going to say yes to using Siri. And you can choose if you want to send diagnostics and if you want to share analytics with app developers. Next, you can choose a view. You can choose zoom, or I should say you can choose standard, which they show here in a variety of different options, or you can choose zoomed, which makes the text a little bigger, the apps a little bigger. I'm going to choose standard so I can make better use of the full screen, but if you have trouble seeing it, you may want to choose zoom. You can pick this later in the iPhone 6 and 6 Plus settings. Now I am here where I can go ahead and get started, and it's going to take me into iOS, and this is where I can start to go to settings, and I can go down to mail, contacts, and calendars, and I can enter in my information for that to get my accounts added. I can start downloading apps. If you want to restore from a iCloud backup, you can do that earlier in this setup process. I prefer to set the iPhone up as a new iPhone and add stuff. That way you kind of get rid of all the junk that you've accumulated over the last year, 2, maybe 3, of just keep downloading stuff. So that's all there is to setting up your iPhone 6 Process is the same on the iPhone 6 Plus. You can head over to gottabemobile.com for more on how to use your iPhone 6 and iOS 8.